shepherds kept their watching o'er silent flocks by night. Behold, throughout the heavens there shone a holy light. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. The shepherds feared and trembled when low above the earth rang out the angel chorus that hailed our Savior's birth. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Down in a lowly manger the humble Christ was born, and God sent us salvation that blessed Christmas morn. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born, that Jesus Christ is born, that Jesus Christ is born.
Laura and Anton, who made it up to Medford from snowy Mount Shasta this morning. So grateful you made the journey safely. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Rogue Valley in Medford, Oregon. I'm Kimberly Hawkins, Spiritual Director here, and as always, we're delighted to have you join us for our Sunday celebration. We're an inclusive, progressive spiritual community, and we welcome each of you, no matter where you may happen to be on your own personal spiritual journey. With us today to do our invocation and reading shortly is practitioner Wendy Wellborn. And as you heard, our musicians this morning, Anton Miserak and Laura Berryhill. We go back to them now for our pre-invocation song, which means it's time to take a collective deep breath. Perhaps that's the first one you've had a chance to take all week as we prepare for our invocation. Laura and Anton.
Sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. We are opening. We are opening. We are opening. We are like a phoenix from the fire. Brothers and sisters, spread your wings and fly higher. We are rising up like a phoenix from the fire. Brothers and sisters, spread your wings and fly higher. We are rising up. We are rising up. We are rising up. We are rising up.
Good morning. Let us pray together. Let's take that collective deep breath and open our hearts, opening to that one, that great omnipotent spirit that runs through and around and for all of us, each one. Knowing that in this very moment and in every moment after, we are surrounded by the unconditional love of God. Our experience is always blessed when we are aware of this. And I invite us to remember it in the front of our brains, knowing that this service is blessed. And as the snow falls, each kiss is a blessing. Each snowflake is a kiss of God. And it falls on all of us. And we allow this energy to move forward, blessing everyone we come into contact with and everything in the world beyond us. And I release this in gratitude, knowing it is already done, and so it is. Let me collect myself. Woo. So we just had solstice, and today is Boxing Day. And it was not, Boxing Day for me, I was thinking of, is just this act of gratitude. It's a years, centuries-long act of gratitude. But as I was sitting at solstice on that day with my pets, meditating and doing my spiritual practice, I was reading a book by Robin Wall Kimmerer. And in this, she's a Native American botanist who writes about both being a scientist and being Native American, which I tie into incredibly. And I hope in this moment my Native ancestors will be pleased. So I came across this prayer from the Haudenosaunee Confederation, which are known in French as the Iroquois. And they do this speech, this address, this gift to all of us every time they offer some important meeting. They do it every morning before they go to school. They collect as students in a forum and repeat it in their schools. And I would like to share some of it with you. It is long, so I have abbreviated it. And I hope the ancestors will forgive me. Each day when there is an important matter at hand, we must give thanks. We will give thanks for all He has created and prepared for us here on the earth and in the sky. This is called the matter before all else, so let it be in our minds. And I invite you, in your own home, when I say now our minds are one, to also say now our minds are one. Today we have gathered and we see that the cycles of life continue. We have been given the duty to live in balance and harmony with each other and all living things. So now we bring our minds together as one, as we give greetings and thanks to each other as people. Now our minds are one. We are all thankful to our Mother, the Earth, for she gives us all that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk upon her. It gives us joy that she continues to care for us as she has from the beginning of time. To our Mother, we send greetings and thanks. Now our minds are one. We give thanks to all the waters of the world for quenching our thirst and providing us with strength. Water is life. We know its power in many forms: waterfalls and rain, mists and streams, rivers and oceans, and of course snow. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to the Spirit of water. Now our minds are one. We are all thankful to the powers we know as the four winds. We hear their voices in the moving air as they refresh us and purify the air we breathe. They bring help to us, bring the change of seasons. From the four directions they come, bringing us messages and giving us strength. With one mind, we send our greetings and thanks to the four winds. Now our minds are one. We now send greetings and thanks to our eldest brother, the sun, who is returning to us. Each day without fail, he travels the sky from east to west, bringing the light of a new day. He is the source of all the fires of life. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to our brother the sun. Welcome back. Now our minds are one. We gather our minds to greet and thank the enlightened teachers who have come to help throughout the ages. When we forget how to live in harmony, they remind us of the way we were instructed to live as people. With one mind, we send greetings and thanks to these caring teachers. Now our minds are one. Now we turn our thoughts to the Creator, the Great Spirit, and send greetings and thanks for all the gifts of creation. Everything we need to live a good life is here on this earth. For all the love that is still around us, we gather our minds together as one and send our choicest words of greetings and thanks to the Creator. Now our minds are one. We have now arrived at the place where we end our words. Of all the things we have named, it was not our intention to leave anything out. If something was forgotten, we leave it to each individual to send such greetings and thanks in their own way. Now our minds are one. The Haudenosaunee have published this prayer, this Thanksgiving address, so that we can all connect every day with all the elements that make our world perfect. Thank you.
Don't you think you owe it to yourself to look inside of you and take the time to realize what you are here to do? Don't you think the time has finally come to stand and face the fire, to walk into the blazing sun and claim your heart's desire? You were placed upon this earth with a mission to complete. Now the time has come, so stand up strong and claim your destiny. You must move in the direction of your dreams and act as if they've already come true. For even when there is no hope, or so it seems, move in the direction of your dreams. Do you think that you're not good enough to be a shining star? Do you think because the road looks tough that you won't get that far? Do you believe that only some are great and others left for chance? Or maybe that it's just too late, a futile circumstance? You were placed upon this earth with a mission to complete. Now the time has come, so stand up strong and claim your destiny. You must move in the direction of your dreams and act as if they've already come true. For even when there is no hope, or so it seems, move in the direction of your dreams. When the world feels like it's crashing all around you, and the clouds of doubt are darkening your day, come and just be still and know that there's something deep within you that will always, always know the way. Move in the direction of your dreams and act as if they've already come true. For even when there is no hope, or so it seems, move in the direction of your dreams.
Beautiful, Laura and Anton. And special thanks to Wendy for that gorgeous Native American prayer. I want to use that. She's going to give it to me. I'm trying to take a deep breath. It's been a busy week for most of us, I know. Wanted to start by just asking if maybe some of you have had the same misgivings or mixed thoughts about using Facebook. And it's kind of a funny thing for me to start a talk by asking, since many of you, most of you who are listening live, are listening on Facebook right now. And I am very grateful for that avenue for many reasons. It allows us to broadcast on our Sunday services. It allows me to keep in touch with friends and family and learn things about people I probably wouldn't know. I often hear news from people in our community, congregants, and given the opportunity to reach out when I think somebody might need support. So there are many, many benefits, and yet it's also fostered a lot of, I don't know, maybe it's easier to post nasty things when you're not speaking to somebody face to face. So I think we've all had the experience of having to hide certain posts or just hide people or unfriend people. And anyway, if you've ever watched the documentary Social Dilemma, you're aware too that because of the algorithms used in Facebook, we're fed things that we resonate with, that we've liked before, and we tend to get narrow in our perspective. At least there's potential for that. If we only listen to people who agree with us, we tend to be more cemented in being right and not understanding how somebody could possibly think the opposite, and that's not a helpful thing. Nonetheless, for right now, I'm staying on Facebook for the benefits of it, and I started with this little rant this morning because I found a quote that inspired my talk today. Centers for Spiritual Living has several Facebook pages. One of them is called Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And earlier this week, I found this quote posted there. It's from a Presbyterian minister and preacher named Frederick Buechner. And here's what he said. What keeps the wild hope of Christmas alive year after year, in a world notorious for dashing all hopes, is the haunting dream that the child who was born that day may be born again and again in all of us. The haunting dream that the child that was born that day may be born again and again in all of us. To me, that's the real meaning of Christmas. That Christ consciousness, that light, that knowing, and living from the place of knowing that we are one, as Wendy so beautifully expressed in her prayer. We are one with the divine creator. We are all made of the same divine cloth. And this year, of course, this time of year is all about light and dark. The talk title this morning is Light of a New Dawn, because we have the opportunity now, not only of a new dawn every day, but a new dawn in the year, at least in the northern hemisphere, of the sun returning to its northerly path and providing more light for us. But even though the sun comes up every morning, sometimes we can't see it because of the clouds, but it does come up, and even though the solstice happens every year, we get to choose whether or not we truly experience light in a metaphorical sense, enlightenment, Christ consciousness, awareness of our oneness, awareness of the divine presence. We get to choose how we focus on that, or if we focus on that, and whether we're aware of that or not, whether or not we live from that place of oneness in our personal lives and in our collective lives in community and in our world. Today is not only Boxing Day, it's also the first day of Kwanzaa, a holiday that celebrates our African American cultures in this country. And today, the first day of Kwanzaa is based on the principle of unity. So another reminder how important this concept is for us to remember. I spoke on Christmas Eve about the metaphors and the nativity story in the Bible for light, or of light, and what that means. The angel Gabriel coming to young teenaged Mary to reassure her that all was well, even though she was going to give birth and she had no clue that was going to happen. The wise men following the star to go and worship this child that had been born, this enlightened one that would bring so much peace and teaching and learning and understanding to the world. That star that represents divine guidance, and that can also said to be said to represent fulfilled hopes and dreams. You know, we wish upon a star. So this idea of light is so rich, so meaningful this time of year. This coming year, 2022, the suggested theme for Centers for Spiritual Living across the globe is living everyday wonder. And when I first read that, I had mixed thoughts, to tell you the truth, because I thought, really? Living everyday wonder? I mean, there's so much chaos and dissension and darkness going on in the world today. I thought, are we being Pollyanna to talk about living everyday wonder? And then I had a new thought, which was, what better time to focus on the wonder of every day? Just like that beautiful prayer Wendy read, thanking the sun, the stars, the divine, the water, everything. Living everyday wonder means to me living in conscious awareness of this now moment and all the blessings that are contained therein. Right now, for me, living in everyday wonder means loving this snowfall that's happening in the Rogue Valley. It is so beautiful and so wonderful. So recognizing the possibility of the light of a new dawn is what I want to talk about today. I guess one more thought about the darkness is Jesus was born in a stable, in a dark and quiet place, not in the inn. There was no room there. The inn representing the busyness, the mundane pieces of our life. The stable representing that connection between the earth, there were animals, and the heavens, there were angels. And it was all one coming together in the heart that was the manger. So I want to talk about 3 tools, 3 ways, if you will, that I think can support us in recognizing and living from the light of a new dawn. First of all, I'm going to invite us to think of ourselves as future ancestors. That's an interesting concept, not one that I had contemplated before. We are the future ancestors to generations that will come. And so, who are you and what do you do and say? Who you are and what you do and say directly impacts the way of life in the future. I want to credit Reverend Sunshine Day from the Downey Center for Spiritual Living, who wrote notes on this suggested topic for today. She asked this question: will you be the ancestor spoken of as blazing the trail for growth, or will you be spoken of as the ancestor that was a bridge burner? That's a powerful question. We get to choose. Our global vision for Centers for Spiritual Living says we envision a world in which we live and grow as one global family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all life. A world where this kinship with all life prospers and connects through the guidance of spiritual wisdom and experience. So I'm going to invite you, and I'm inviting myself, to go forward as we wrap up this year, 2021, and enter a new year, to think about how are we impacting generations which will look back at us as the ancestors. The second tool, if you will, is music. I know that when we present a service like this, music is just as important, if not more, than the spoken message. There's something about music that touches our heart, that opens our heart, that gets through past the monkey mind doubts and whatever we have in our heads. And music is said to be the soundtrack of our lives. I mean, if you think about popular songs, they sing about love, enjoyed, love lost, losing loved ones, children, family. I mean, all the pieces of our lives are intertwined in the lyrics and the songs that we hear. And so the question is, what are we listening to? Either what song lyrics are repeating in our own head, or what are we actually listening to during the day? And how does it support our journey of living from the perspective of seeing the light? How do our songs help us dwell in the present? We have many tools right now. You know, after I discovered, what was the first one? I can't remember the name of it right now, but Spotify is this wonderful music streaming service that happens to include all or at least most of our New Thought artists. So if you haven't explored that, I encourage you to do so. Reverend Elisha Christopher, in one of his recent classes he was teaching, students were required to have a project, which was something we wanted to manifest either in our personal life or in our world. And in a recent class, he encouraged his students, I understand, to create their own personal playlist to support that project. And I thought that was a fabulous idea. And in some ways, I had already created. I oftentimes print lyrics to my favorite songs and use them as part of my spiritual practice. But I would say right now that my playlist, my personal playlist, would include a couple songs from Michael Gott. We just heard one, Move in the Direction of Your Dreams. One of my favorites is I Will Make a Quiet Place. And so that's part of my soundtrack. I will make a quiet place within my heart, and I will wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord. I will make a quiet place within my mind, and I will wait upon the Lord. And then the chorus is, be still, my soul, be still and know. Ricky Byers, it's a song that's been around for a long time. Use Me is another one of my favorites. Here I'll abide as you show me all I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my heart, it's here for you. And then again, the refrain from Ricky Byers, God needs us to shine its light, as me, as you. God needs us to shine its light, as me, as you. And one more from Michael Gott, I just love. Here I am, a vessel to be used. Whatever Spirit needs of me, I will be, I will be, I will be. Here I stand, my heart is here to serve. Wherever love is leading me, I will go, I will go, I will go. So I'm going to encourage you this week to think about your personal soundtrack. Maybe put it on a playlist, your personal playlist, to listen to uplift you. It's so important even in the morning. You know, I shared before, I have a tendency to put on a news app first thing in the morning. It's much better to put on spiritual music as I get dressed. It kind of starts my day in the light rather than in the chaos. So we have thinking about us as future ancestors, creating our personal playlist. The last thing I want to talk about is Kwanzaa, which begins today, the 26th of December. This is a holiday that I think began to be celebrated here sometime in the late 60s, celebrating African American culture and values, such as family, community, responsibility, collective work, self-improvement, wonderful values. And as I mentioned earlier today, the first day of Kwanzaa, December 26th, focuses on unity. The Swahili word is umoja. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, umoja. Kwanzaa itself, the word means first fruits, which reminds me that every day, and especially now as we enter a new year, we're planting seeds. We're planting seeds in our own consciousness, in our own deeds, for what we're going to harvest for the rest of the year. So it's a great time, this time of Kwanzaa, this time of the year ending, to look back at what bore good fruit for us this year, seeds we planted that were positive, and perhaps things that didn't work out so well, and maybe we'll choose to plant a different seed at the beginning of the new year. So reflecting on what worked and what didn't work, and then finding a balance. Yes, we need to look back and reflect. That's a positive thing to do, but not to stay stuck in regret or what ifs, to move forward, to plan for the future, and also to be centered in the now moment, which is so very important, as we all know. So my call to action for us this week involves several steps. Finding that perfect balance between reflecting on the past, planning for the future, and being centered in the present of the presence. Remembering that we are the perfect light of God. We are expressions of that one light, and as such, we can't be separate from the divine, nor can we truly be separate from one another. Keeping in mind a positive playlist and using that to help uplift us. and consciously taking actions today that we know will bless us and bless future generations, being aware that we are the ancestors of the next generation. And we can bring the light of a new dawn. We can help that happen. I want to end with another quote I found from Facebook on that equity inclusion page. And I love this. This is a beautiful charge. I will help my community this year by focusing on the good I'm able to do in the world and here at home. I will listen with my whole heart. I will be generous with grace and love. I will give people the benefit of the doubt. I will offer forgiveness to myself and others too. I will stand up for people who are being hurt and misjudged. I will do my best. And finally, like the lovable Dickens character Scrooge in A Christmas Carol, I invite us to do what he proclaimed he would do, to honor Christmas and keep it in our hearts all the year through. Christmas, that knowing, that Christ consciousness, that unity consciousness, that we are one. Let's go into prayer. As the snow softly continues to fall outside our windows, I allow myself to be still. I allow myself to be blanketed as the earth is blanketed in white, to be blanketed with that love of the divine, that soft, gentle whisper that I am loved, loving, and lovable forever, and that this is the truth of each one here. God is love. God is everywhere present. That spirit of life that is all-knowing. Nowhere where it is not. Thinking of it this morning as light, and knowing that I can choose to see the light, even in the midst of a snowstorm or a cloudy day. Always that light of God is present. That light representing peace, harmony, oneness, goodness, wholeness, freedom, and so much more. My prayer for all of us this coming year is that we learn to help live in the dawn of a new light, that we help each other live in the dawn of a new light. That by the words we speak, the actions we take, we remember that we are here to be the light of the world, as Jesus told us we are. That we are here to be the ancestors for future generations, to help create that path of love, of light, of unity. And so I bless everyone this December 26th, Boxing Day, the first day of Kwanzaa, the day that we vow to keep Christmas in our hearts every day of the year. Blessing everyone, no matter whether they're in a place where they can see light and feel light, or if they're in a dark place, knowing that God is there regardless, and that we can be the hands, we can be the voice of that divine love for each other and for ourselves. So in gratitude for this beauty of this day, for the beauty of being able to live in everyday wonder, for the amazing freedom to choose that we are given by the divine, I release these words into the law, the heart of God, knowing they are heard, that this prayer is answered, and we say together, and so it is. Amen.
shall be our token. Love be yours and love be mine. Love to God and all men. Love for plea and gift and sign.
I was so involved listening out there in the other room so I could hear that beautiful song. I missed my cue. Thank you, Anton and Laura, so much. It's time in our service now where we turn to the spiritual practice of sacred giving. So a big thank you to everyone who has supported us financially through this interesting year we've come through. If you'd like to make a donation to CSLRV, you can do so in several ways. But first, let's say our affirmation together. Graciously, I give from a place of love, knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive. And so it is. You can go to our website, www.cslroguevalley.org, and hit the donate button. You can use the Facebook page, hit the donate button there, or mail us a check to CSLRV, P.O. Box 1458, Medford, Oregon, 97501. A few announcements of coming up events in our community. First of all, thank you to all who attended our joint Christmas Eve service at Unity of Medford. We are in the process, our board and their board, of working out details to collaborate. So it's very likely we will be moving to that center to have live in-service meetings Sunday mornings, starting probably in February. So we're very excited about that and grateful to the Unity Medford community as well. I want to invite you, if you have not already, to renew your financial pledge to us for next year. You can do that by sending our admin, Vivian, an email at cslroguevalley@gmail.com. And thank you to all who have already done that. We do have upcoming classes, and it's time now to think about next year and sign up because we give an early bird discount. So toward the end of January, I'll be teaching Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. It's a new 5-week foundational class, life-changing, on Zoom for now. And Reverend Michelle Ariana will be teaching also a new class, 7-week class, on the mind-body-spirit connection. It's called Revealing Wholeness. So you can sign up for either of those classes with a $50 deposit to get the early bird discount. You can sign up for our newsletter if you're not already receiving it on our Facebook page under email. Or again, email us at cslroguevalley@gmail.com. So I think that's it. Prayer requests, always welcome. You can click a button or email us with your prayer requests. So thank you. I'm going to go back now to Anton and Laura for our closing song.
I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world.
I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. We are the light, we are the light, we are the light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright.
And we shine,
And we shine,
and we shine,
and we shine,
and we shine so bright. And we shine,
and we shine,
and we shine,
and we shine,
and we
and we
shine so
bright.
shine,
we shine,
we shine,
we shine,
we shine,
we shine,
we shine.
Ah, so shine on, my beloveds. I'm going to leave you with a brief prayer about shining your light, and this comes from spiritual teacher Ann Albers. Dear God, may your love and your light be born anew within my heart. It is your presence that is the greatest present of all. I ask to both receive and share the gift of your love. Allow me to be the light in the darkness, hope for my world, and a source of innocent joy for those whose lives I touch. Fill me with the light of Christmas every day of my life. And so it is. Blessings to you all. Amen.